Yeah, Clark Stork, the Director of Communications for Golf Saskatchewan here, joined by Mike Langan, the Saskatchewan representative for TaylorMade, and obviously a great partner of ours. And Mike, we're just talking about what's new with you guys for 2020. I guess first of all, we're finally golfing again. Some good news there before we talk about what you guys got for this year. Hey.
Yes. That's our new technology, as you alluded to, SIMS, which stands for Shape and Motion. So with our drivers especially, now it's kind of more of the shape one in terms of, there's always different conflicting things with our engineering team and design team of, okay, what's going to be more forgiving, what's going to be more aerodynamic. So there's always kind of conflicting sides there. So for us this year, shape one, and we're seeing players pick up club head speed. That's going to translate to more ball speed and ultimately more distance as well. And we've got our sim lineup from our drivers, fairways, rescues, and into our irons as well.
Hey, why don't you just tell us a little bit, I know you had a demonstration, or you just got, do you have those pieces with you to show us the iron and kind of what goes into those?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously with, Meadowwoods being a big part of our TaylorMade story for 40 years now, one big technology change we have in irons is this new technology called echo dampening system. So what that does, it helps reduce the vibration, improve the sound with our irons. So it'll sound and play feel-wise closer to what we would have with a forged product, which a lot of players will lean towards that forged product for sound and feel, but are also going to lose a little bit of forgiveness generally with those forged products. So if we look at our high bar dampener that we had in our M5 and M6 irons, which is a little piece of polyurethane fill, if we look at our echo dampening system for the new Sim Max and Sim Max OS irons, you see it's quite a bit larger. And so what that does, it actually sits right behind the face on the iron, so it goes across the entire length of the iron face. So shots missed, hit on the heel, the toe section, you're still going to have that improved feel and sound. With our little photo shoot we did with all of our tour players when we first introduced them to the Sim products, they kind of had a little blindfold test where they'd have, say, Rory hitting some shots with his gamers right now, but also with the Sim Max and Max OS irons. And then all the other guys like DJ, Tiger, Paul Morikawa, Matt Wolf, they were all blindfolded, and they had to guess which iron he was hitting. They couldn't tell the difference on which, in terms of sound, which iron they were hitting, whether it was a forged product or with the Sim. So that's a pretty powerful story to share, especially with tour players being very precise and finicky on stuff like that, and to have that kind of that tour validation is a big step in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, does it help for you guys to sell when you have all those guys on, playing those clubs? Because those are some big names you can drop, the biggest in the business, really.
Yeah, definitely. And even just even having our TaylorMade driving relief like we had on Sunday at Seminole Club in Florida. Even just not necessarily the clubs per se, but even with our golf balls. So like Ricky Fowler, he's playing our golf ball now, and our new golf ball, our new line of golf balls with our TP5 and 5X products is our new picks. So this is actually co-designed by Ricky Fowler. He was, hands-on with this design right from day one. So he kind of wanted to play something that's different, but also gives him, that little kind of swagger that Ricky has. I mean, he's definitely, that's kind of his style. And I think for us to have a player that's on our staff but isn't playing our clubs per se, but coming to us for a golf ball, that just kind of shows that now we're not just a metal company, which we were known for many years, and now we're kind of the full meal deal. So the story with this is basically, so if we line this up, it's called clear path technology. So what that does is when we actually putt the golf ball, when it's actually a little bit in quicker motion, it allows us 3 different lines. So it gives you instant feedback on your putting, on whether you may actually made a good stroke or not. And one thing that Ricky said for him is, so all these little triangles on the golf ball, well, if he's in got to hit a flop shot or draw or cut, now he can actually focus on a little part of the golf ball. And so it actually helps him create, for him, a little bit better contact as well. So so it's just something a little bit different, but the fact that not only he designed it, but the fact that he's actually playing it, for the entire season. And once again, to kind of have that tour validation on stuff like that, it goes huge. As we know, we're definitely a very tour-driven industry. It's, we want to play what all the pros are playing.
Of course, it makes us play better, right? And hoping to hand some of those balls out. I know we got a ton of them at the office for at the start of our championships for sure. The putter is redesigned as well, and I know you guys put some trust in this one to kind of play on the name there. But tell us about the new putter you guys got.
Yeah, so with our Trust putter, I know it's the design on it's a little bit, does look a little bit weird, but so if we look at kind of the design on the putter here, so it's obviously not a very traditional technology. There's been some, this isn't necessarily new per se. I mean, it's been a different way it has been done in the past. But the reason behind it is if we can take, a lot of players want to have a traditional putter. They don't want to have a big mallet just because that's what suits their eye. That's great. But if you go to a kind of a traditional putter, the stability and the forgiveness isn't quite there. So if we can take 2 contact points and essentially stabilize that, if we can create less club head deflection, now we have a better chance of having more consistency on our putts. And that's essentially what that design is for. Is creating a traditional shape, traditional look, but having a little bit more technology, a little bit more stability in there. It's not quite as high of an MOI like we see with our Spider X or Spider Tour that we see a lot of our tour players playing as well. So it's just basically another option for players who don't want to have a big mallet to go and play something that still has some technology and a little bit more stability, but just in a more traditional shape.
Sure. Well, speaking of traditional, you guys got to sell this stuff. But the demo days and fitting and everything is different this year amid COVID-19. But there's some positives. It seems like just a lot more one-on-one and focus face-to-face, but from a distance.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we'll be starting to do our fitting starting next week. So we have our website for all of our fitting locations. It's just myfittingexp.com. Or even just going right to TaylorMadeGolf.com, or .ca. You'll see all up the top there, just book a fitting, and it has all of our public fitting days that we're going to have throughout the year across the country. So with that, so now that's obviously with COVID happening, our demo days, fitting days are going to look a little different this year. So now we're going to be kind of leaning just more towards that one-on-one fitting experience, which for myself, that's kind of what I used to do as a master fitter for 4 years, was do fittings by appointment only. And I think it is beneficial just because now we can actually, have the person who wants to come in, do a fitting. At least we can give them that one-on-one time, where sometimes on a busy demo day, it's hard to really give that, maybe that attention to, each individual if there's 5, wanting to test or hit some products. So at least this way we can kind of go through and actually use our technology with our flight scope and, look at the data from their current clubs they have now, trying to see what they want to have with new equipment, whether it's, more forgiveness, more accuracy, more distance. It's usually a combination of the 3. Haven't had too many guys in the last number of years come up and say, yeah, I'm looking to hit it shorter and more crooked. Longer and straighter is a pretty common answer. But yeah, so at least we can go through there and, kind of time and just kind of control the flow of, of traffic, but also control what's being hit, who's touched it. And then at the end of the fitting session, sanitize everything and put it back in the bags, and then move on to our next fitting.
Great, yeah. We got to play golf. It is looks a little bit different. I know the courses had a great weekend from all accounts. Is there anything else you just want to add here, looking ahead to the 2020 season, Mike?
Like you said, it's just nice to kind of finally have that have that start date up and going now. So at least we're one step closer. Still a little bit of ways from, kind of going back to, full normalcy, but at least we're, making progress in the right direction. And I think for golf, we're in a unique situation because there are a lot of other sports that aren't happening right now, whether it's, youth soccer, or, baseball, spring hockey. So there are a lot of kids that are, even for adults as well, wanting to get out and do some sports. And right now we're kind of the only ticket going on right now. So I think it gives us a good opportunity to either grow the game in terms of, people maybe haven't played golf in the past, or people that maybe were, just maybe played a couple times a year and didn't really take it that serious. Well, maybe now they have a little bit more time with, whether the kids' soccer's not going on or they have more free time. Now they can maybe, play a bit more as well. So, we're seeing some growth, at least in April. We saw some growth year over year, actually, which is kind of surprising in our Asian markets from TaylorMade sales. So hopefully that, that positive progression kind of translates over into our North American market. And based off of what we saw this last weekend with, basically 0 tee times available across the province, I think it puts us in a pretty good spot. And hopefully we can continue to grow the game here locally, but also nationally as well.
Perfect. Thanks for doing this, Mike. Thanks again, TaylorMade, for the partnership with Golf Saskatchewan, and we hope to see you at the starter tent at the Legends in July for our amateur.
Yeah, no, definitely. I plan on being there for the for the amateur there, so I'm looking forward to it.